Par pals, Matty P here, another putting video. There's 3 different styles of putting to me. I just got back from Worlds, mind is blown, looking at redoing my putting game altogether, just watching the pros and going against some of the tips that I give you guys. Let's talk about this. I think there's 3 ways. There's the pros way. There's like the Gannon Burr, Isaac Robinson, blah! Like it's really exciting and explosive. It goes on a hyzer, it goes fast. You know, they're just taking their time and then bam, bam, bam.
Let's go.
How do they do it so quick? That was the way I also teach. The way that I teach it is actually, it's a combination of Ricky Wysocki's instruction. If you look up some of his YouTube videos, Maria Oliva talked about firing her fingers and kind of doing this, which I explained to you guys in my slew video, slew of putts, S-L-E-W, spin lift, weight shift. When you are doing the motions, you fire your fingers and your hand gets fancy. You get fancy with the hand. You don't just shake hands, but you get fancy hand. And you want to get that hand up, get that disc up to do the nice gentle insert. It's actually similar to Paul Ulibarri's putting style, which is very like smooth and silky. And he always, I think earlier this season he was talking about, well, you know, I'm like 93% C1X, so like, you know, these guys are just slamming it in like that, like Gannon, you know, like, you know, they're gonna miss. Well, I'd just like, oh. Yuli's right. I have to say, his way of putting is safer, slower, not so exciting, but guess who's putting C1X 93%? That's very notable. Let's talk about that super slow Yuli style. So when you're doing that, you're doing certain techniques and things that are very gentle, light, spin putt style with, in this example, a staggered stance. So I'm leaning back, taking my time. It's very meditative, very yoga, you know, and I'm just nose down. Ooh, but it's very gentle. It's very gentle. But I know from my muscle memory or the neurons and chemicals that are firing my body that make up whatever they call muscle memory from practicing, I know that this works, okay? It just does. But it's very light and gentle. It's very, see, I didn't fire my fingers enough. See, I just, yeah. So sometimes it can be fast like that, but you risk when you do that light throw, there's a risk to that. The risk is, let's say it's windy out, and when you go like this, nice and slow, holy crap, a gust of wind came and took it. But that's my method. I'm always going up, nice and light, nice and slow, nice and gentle. And what if wind comes and pushes that disc, gets underneath my plate and pulls it left? Possible. How do you avoid getting your disc hijacked by nature? See, there you go, wind. There's a little bit of wind out today. Let's talk about the exciting, explosive Gannon Burr and Isaac Robinson. I'm just using them as examples. They've been very explosive lately, and it's like, how do they do that shit? So this is the epiphany that I had when I was at Worlds caddying for Tyler Wozniak. What's up, Woz? Thanks for the diss, man. And I'll be shooting with the Houdini and his Wizard, which is his own tour series of Wizard, Gateway Wizard. They're really good putters. Houdini's kind of like my harp, but feels like the Wizard. It's good. Check them out, especially the Wizards. Let's talk about explosive putting, because Woz does this too. I'll take you back to my video when I first talked about how to putt with a staggered stance. I said, point your foot forward, right at your target, your basket, get your shoulder square like this, and that's how you putt. But then how I saw Woz putting, he would come up and he would kind of like athletic stance, kind of like turn his foot. I'm like, what the fuck you doing, brother? That's how you do it, brother. And he would sit there and kind of sit back a little bit, but not too much. He would almost be like, his back leg would kind of like, he'd be putting his weight on his back leg, but just like, so he could pop that weight over quick. And then he'd throw it out on a hyzer-angle. I'm seeing Isaac and Gannon do that too in these scenarios. So here we are, and they're like this, boom. See that shit? That shit's explosive. So it took me a little while. It took me like a day or two of like practicing a little bit and looking at the video of him doing stuff and all these other guys, and just, I mean, No wind is gonna stop that if you do it nice and quick, nice angle. If you know your disc, first one I did was understable, so you throw it on that hyzer and it's gonna hang into that hyzer angle. Harp is overstable. I know for a fact it's gonna come down and fade. It's going to use, also on a hyzer angle, the most amount of space, even if you're off a little bit. You know, I'm a lefty, so I want to hit this left side so it falls down. I want to maximize hitting this area. So just like my nose up, nose down explanation, you want to maximize this area. And in this scenario, in this method, they are maximizing that area by throwing it on a hyzer. Again, the Yuli / my method of that soft putt, get it up and get it up and in there, but it could succumb to the wind. How do I get around it? I'll step back a little further. So this is more, I don't even know what to call it. It's just not putting forward, but turning to the side. So he's back on that foot, but he's trying to lean over and get close. I think is what he's doing. That's why he's like on that foot. And then he's gonna move that weight over, but he's gunslinging, okay? There we go, okay. Okay, so he'd get down, not pointed directly at, just point a little bit to the side. Then he'd get kind of down and back, and then boom. It's crazy, right? It goes so quick. It's crazy. That's a really good way to putt, but so is my method. So if I start sucking and I start hawking these discs on these pro lines, I'll call them, the con to that pro is that I am going to miss at some point, all right? If I'm going to miss, that is gonna suck, because going that fast and spinning the disc that quick, you could roll away, or you're gonna have a much longer putt than if you're like, okay, light throw, you know, if that flips over, as long as you're not on a hill, it's just gonna sit down. But here, I mean, I miss on this, because I'm gonna have to miss. There you go. So if I'm throwing light and it falls out, I mean, in this case, of course I'm gonna hit that putt. That's, 4 feet from the basket. But this one, way closer on the nice light throw. But the faster putt is gonna be spinning a lot more. So you're actually gonna be knocking it out further and away from your target, which could lead to strokes. So, I'll have to come with a full video of this method, but as you see, it really works. I've only been working with it for like a couple weeks. I hope this helps. I hope this explanation will bring you to whatever method works for you. But let me tell you a tip that no one else can show you. Nobody else can show you but you. Here's the tip. Practice every day for putting. They say, oh, take some time off, blah, 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 blah. Now, for putting, you can putt every day. You can putt every day. It's not gonna mess you up. It's not gonna weaken your arm unless you broke your arm. Don't go with a broken arm. Par pals, what I'm saying is get your own method, get your own form down. I'm just throwing out planting seeds. My method that I spin putt and do the light Yuli type throws came from Wysocki, Oliva, a little bit everybody. But look, it's just, it's so simple. It's so simple. You get used to it after a while and it becomes, that's your way. But then there's days you couldn't hit the side of a barn door if you tried, right? We all have those days. And so for me, having a backup method, some people would say, well, I have a straddle stance, I do a straddle stance, I do the staggered stance. What else is there? It's really the method in which you prepare for your putt. If I'm really stressed out during a tournament, while I'm sitting back, I take a fucking deep breath. I got 30 seconds, man. I'm already sitting there, so I'm gonna take that time. I'm gonna chill out. There's little things here and there that you can do to kind of reel it back if you're struggling during a round. So for me, if I start missing on my nice light putts and a wind comes in, then I know that maybe it's time to change up my shots. But man, I really like it. It's very gunslingery. Anyway, thanks for watching, Par Pals. Please subscribe, for fuck's sake. Jesus. Promise I won't annoy you much. May your tees always be short, and may your big disc energy be long. Peace out, Par Pals. Subscribe.